Nothing in heaven or earth can stop God from deciding that it's your time. Not even you. You've been waiting for what you're about to hear since the day you were born. So pick one and listen intently. You didn't just show up here. Time itself was etched with this very moment. And to receive this insight, your spirit was called. You might already sense it. Your body tingles, your soul stirs, and you feel a weird urgency in the pit of your chest. This is because a change is going to occur, not tomorrow. Through signs, quiet, and the odd pressure that has been growing in your life lately, God is communicating to you tonight. Have you noticed the abrupt loneliness, the weariness, or the tension? There isn't a breakdown there. It's a buildup. Heaven has been getting your ship ready for a beautiful meeting. It will start to show up tonight in ways you can't yet describe, but will soon feel. You are crossing a spiritual boundary tonight, moving into the next phase of your vocation. Your DNA contains a heavenly code that will be unlocked tonight. You can experience a quick emotional release, a burst of insight, or heat coursing through your body. These symptoms are not arbitrary. They are signals. You are more than a soul living a human life. The Creator Himself has implanted spiritual technology in you, making you a chosen one. According to God, you possess a latent energy that has been repressed by trauma, fear, and the deception of this world. However, it is presently growing. The veil is getting thinner, and your spirit will undergo strong waves of metamorphosis over the course of the following 4 nights. These are not your typical evenings. They are hallowed entryways, and you will walk into the kind of destiny that others can only imagine if you align your heart with what God is doing. This isn't for everyone, though. It will only be felt in the bones of those who have been genuinely selected. Don't hesitate if you have a strong inner yes, or if your spirit tells you that this is for you. Comment 777. At this moment, the vibration of spiritual fulfillment is carried by that number. Additionally, you are accepting your metamorphosis by typing it below. You're activating something, not just leaving a comment. We also want to express our sincere gratitude to all of the dear people who have super thanked us for supporting this message. Your generosity and faith aren't just supporting a channel. A movement is being fueled by them. You belong to something timeless, and it is wonderful that you are here, whether you gave or just observed. They see you. You are important. You are cherished. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever questioned why your path has been so demanding? Why you felt things more strongly than others, and why your struggles were more difficult? The reason for this is that you were never typical. God prepared you for this moment by hiding you in plain sight. The signal is currently disappearing. They're activating the chosen. This isn't your average video. This broadcast is divine. Additionally, you won't be the same person that hit play if you finish. Your spirit will be awakened to memories you were unaware of by what you are going to receive. You will reveal your true self via it. Stay with me then. Keep clicking. This could be the most significant message you've heard in a long time. Are you prepared? Let's get started. God's people. You will undergo a significant metamorphosis tonight. Music. Music is taking place. A sacred alignment is happening tonight. One that has been in action for a long time without your knowledge. Everything is being planned by God. For you, what appears to be a typical night is actually the start of something significant. This is no coincidence. It is a divine appointment, a call from heaven for you to completely embrace who you are as one of God's chosen people. In addition to speaking, God's voice has thundered through the spiritual worlds, announcing that a supernatural transformation sequence will take place within them over the course of the following 4 nights. You're not only starting a new stage of your life, you are about to undergo a full metamorphosis that will alter your thinking, touch your physical body, and even reach into your spirit. Do you feel it stirring inside of you already? You are standing on hallowed ground, just as Moses' entire fate changed in an instant when he met God in the burning bush. Spiritual awakening is not the only thing at stake here. It involves completely recalibrating your identity, thoughts, feelings, and sense of purpose. Have you ever wondered why your heart has been twitching recently? Or why, even in places you know well, you've begun feeling uncomfortable? The solution is straightforward but effective, because, like the Apostle Paul, who was changed by a dazzling light and a heavenly voice while traveling to Damascus, you were never intended to remain in your previous form. The time for your reveal is almost here. It is a call for you to rise above who you have been and become who you really are. There is no countdown to these 4 evenings. A hallowed initiation they are. This procedure could seem strange or even unnerving. But isn't it true that comfort is rarely a part of growth? It's more than simply a simple bump. They're elevating you. Seldom does transformation occur in silence. Inner trembling, spirit-stirring nightmares, and inexplicable feelings are frequently the first signs. But everything has a purpose. Do you sense an odd vibe all around you? Have vivid dreams disturbed your sleep, or have your senses become more acute? This is not unique to you. God's angels, who are divine energies, are close by and have been specially sent to accompany you during this transition. Your words were heard from the moment you set your heart to comprehend and humble yourself before your God. And I have come in response to them, the angel said to Daniel in Daniel 10. This also applies to you. Heaven has heard your prayers, your tears, and even your silence. And the answer starts to emerge tonight. People who have experienced significant change, even in the modern world, frequently talk about an enigmatic turning point. Freedom fighter and now world peace icon Nelson Mandela famously remarked, "There's nothing like going back to a place that hasn't changed to see how you've changed." Like him, you're going to realize how much you've changed on the inside, and the outside world will start to show it. To receive this shift, you don't have to comprehend it completely. Faith is the proof of things unseen and the substance of things hoped for. Your spirit may become more sensitive, your thoughts may change quickly, and your body may feel different. Confusion is not what that is. That's the emergence of clarity. This isn't fantasy. Activation is what it is. Yes, the trip ahead will test you, but it will also make you more polished. The diamond is not destroyed by pressure. It displays its genius. Your discomfort is a sign that your true self is showing through, and your old self is being shed. Have you noticed that old habits feel heavy and out of place lately, or that certain people are disappearing from your life? These are signs that the new is being welcomed into your spirit. This process won't be typical, and you weren't made for routine. Something strong starts tonight. Others will find it quiet, but you will not deny it. Keep in mind that you are not changing into a new person as the heavens open and the metamorphosis starts. You are reverting to the strong, divine self that God intended for you from the start. Let this be the night that you give the process your full attention. Allow it to mold, instruct, challenge, and ultimately elevate you. There is a sacred window during these 4 nights. Avoid resistance. Accept the mystery as it develops, because you won't simply walk differently once it's finished. The glory of someone who has really experienced God will shine through you. Something completely beyond your comprehension is about to happen during the next 4 nights. The world around you cannot measure or fully understand this transformation, nor will it be superficial. You are entering a sacred activation, a heavenly process that starts inside and spreads outside. You're being more than just honed. You are undergoing a thorough and profound awakening that will affect every aspect of your being. You will be drawn inward on this journey to long-forgotten parts of your spirit. The aspects of yourself that have been silently waiting for this particular hour will be reintroduced to you. This alteration may cause tremors in your physical body. You might have questions in your head that you have never dared to ask, and your soul might cry for no apparent reason. But that is the beauty of transformation. Before it makes sense, it starts. Isn't it often true that your profound discoveries emerge when rationality fails? Just as Jacob wrestled with God through the night and limped away with both a wound and a blessing, you too are entering a divine wrestling. There is no passivity throughout these 4 nights. They will test you, challenge you, and remove any previous identity that doesn't align with your current self. Do you already sense that some of your ideas, routines, or relationships are getting heavier, as though your spirit is gradually rejecting what used to feel normal? This intensity is not intended to break you. Its purpose is to free you. A greater force will emerge within you as you release the responsibilities you have unintentionally carried. Your lower self is losing control, which is why you could see it as uncertainty or fear. The pain is sacred. It is an indication that you are becoming more resilient. The light within you is surfacing as your roots from the past are being released. After surviving the atrocities of a concentration camp, Cy ten Boom, a Dutch watchmaker who assisted Jews in escaping the Nazis during World War II, is claimed to have declared, "There is no pit so deep that God's love is not deeper still." You are currently affected by that reality. Know that God's presence is encircling your brokenness and turning it into something indestructible, even if it feels like you're being undone. Every night when you fall asleep, listen carefully. You can start receiving messages in your dreams. Your body may experience waves of vibration or heat, and your emotions may rise and fall like tides. These feelings are not arbitrary. They are affirmations. Heaven is really transforming you. It's possible that the layers you're shedding are inherited identities, traumas, or beliefs from previous generations. Have you ever questioned why, despite your best efforts to alter them, some life cycles continue to repeat? Heaven's solution to that enigma is found in these 4 nights. And keep in mind that before beginning his public ministry, Jesus himself spent 40 nights in the desert. He experienced loneliness, temptation, and internal conflict. However, he strode with complete authority when he came out. Even though they are shorter, the next 4 nights are just as intensely spiritually preparatory. You won't just be restored at the end of this process. You'll have a new birth. Have faith that you are being carried by divine hands, even when you feel alone. Angels have been sent to watch over and lead you. According to Psalm 91, he will give his angels instructions to watch over you and protect you at all times. You're not left behind. You're being led into the future. You will see a new reality as the curtain rises. A world in which you view yourself from the perspective of heaven, rather than the limitations of humanity. You have a soul in addition to your body. You are a being made in God's image, a soul clothed in divine power, and you are meant to be a reflection of his splendor. Is that reality starting to surface within you? You've been viewing yourself as someone attempting to survive for far too long, but you're not meant for survival. It is transcendence. All of your delusions will be destroyed by these 4 nights. You are letting go of the names that people gave you, stepping out of false identities, and courageously into the truth that God has always spoken over your life. This is not merely a change in spirituality. It completely changes your voice, your authority, your energy, and your presence. Nothing will ever be the same again when the heavenly frequency within you rises. Heaven's plan for your life is attracting you into alignment. Additionally, you won't see the same version of yourself in the mirror on the morning of the 5th day. You'll notice that your eyes are brighter, that your shoulders are lighter, and that your heart is clearer. You're not simply evolving. You are becoming the strong, radiant person you were always destined to be. You shouldn't be afraid of the change that is taking place within you. It is something to embrace with reverence and submission. You are going through activation rather than destruction. The purpose of these holy nights is not to destroy you. Their purpose is to shatter you. You are deciphering divine codes that have been encoded in your body since your conception in the womb. You're discovering abilities you never thought possible. The time has finally arrived for them to be unveiled, not because they are brand new. I knew you before I created you in the womb. I distinguished you before you were born. Jeremiah 15. Do you sense the resurgence of that old calling? These divine gifts have patiently waited inside of you, just as a seed has the potential of a tree, but must wait for the proper circumstances to bloom. They are now being called to awaken by the light of God. Do you have an unexplainable energy surge, a startling realization, a stirring in your chest, or a profound inward shift? These aren't random occurrences. They serve as evidence that the change has already started. This identical trend can be found throughout Scripture. Before the Lord's angel showed up and referred to him as a powerful warrior, Gideon thought he was weak and hid in terror. Judges 6:12. Something had to awaken and come alive inside him. No fresh strength came to him. He found the power that had always been inside of him. You are not changing into someone else, just like Gideon. You're evolving into your true self. Do you feel as though a bigger part of yourself is at last being called forth? You will have a different perspective on the world after these 4 nights. You will see yourself through the prism of divine truth, rather than the mirror of limitations. You'll realize that survival has never been your goal. It's always been about light, effect, and influence. You'll marvel how you've managed to survive for so long while feeling cut off from your own power. And your connection to creation itself will feel different, more alive, and more electric. You are no longer designed to function in a human-sized container. You are entering your unique design, which is determined by heaven's blueprint rather than by the norms of the outside world. It's not only about enlightenment here. Embodiment is what it is. A complete change in body, energy, and spirit. Have you ever had the feeling that your body was clinging to an inexplicable, hefty, but unseen object? Now, those energy and obstructions are being released. This unfolding is not gentle. This cleanse is sacrosanct. Your body will react as your frequency increases. Uncomfortable feelings, heat waves, restlessness, irrational hunger, or unexpected emotions could all be side effects of the treatment. However, keep in mind that these are not signs of concern. They are indications of liberation. You are with me, so I won't be afraid of anything, even if I pass through the valley of the shadow of death. Psalm 23:4. Long-buried energies are being raised to the surface in order to eventually go. There is no punishment for you. They're purifying you. Take the reformer and mystic from the 16th century, Saint Teresa of Avila, as an example. It is not so much that the soul feels the presence of God, but that it is so filled with Him that it loses all sense of anything else. She wrote in a piece about her profound spiritual experiences. Her body would shake, and she would experience both extreme delight and anguish at the same time during her moments of exquisite rapture. What if your uneasiness indicates that God is approaching in ways that are greater than your current capacity, rather than that something is amiss? Is the pain in your chest a sign that your spirit is being stretched to accommodate more glory? All of your tremors are sacred. Sometimes the hunger is for truth rather than sustenance. There is no anarchy in the restlessness. It's the liberation of your soul from imprisonment. Panic is not fear. Your nervous system is acclimating to light in areas that were previously dark. Your adversaries are not these bodily reactions. They are your transformation's buddies. The renewing of your mind will change you. Romans 12:2. Have you already noticed a change in your thoughts? Embracing this discomfort has power. The light penetrates more quickly the more you let it happen. in the same way that a caterpillar must totally vanish before turning into a butterfly. In order for the real you to show through, you are also destroying the phony. It's not poetic, it's cellular. Divine instruction is being followed by your DNA. You are adjusting your energy to reflect your divine identity. You are not limited by your body. It is a holy container made to transport spiritual energy. And now that vessel is being strengthened, purified, and ready to hold greater grandeur than before. Do you wonder, even if you don't know why those around you might be feeling uneasy lately? It's because the atmosphere around you senses a shift in your energy. Clarity is about to radiate from you. There will be discernment where there was before confusion. There will be lightness where there was heaviness. There will be fire where there was fear. This is the process of transfiguration, which is similar to what happened to Jesus when his clothing turned brilliant white and his face glowed like the sun on the mountainside. Matthew 17:2. You are also undergoing an internal and external transformation. Now is your time to shine. The people around you will soon sense the changes, even if they can't see them yet. You will enter spaces and change the mood. People will listen to you in different ways while you speak. There will be a power and serenity in your presence that can only be felt, not understood. Rise and shine, for the Lord's brightness is upon you, and your light has arrived. Isaiah 61. You're losing more than simply your former self. You're embracing your true self for the first time. Your body will start to vibrate with a power that is far more powerful than anything you have ever experienced throughout the next 4 nights. These aren't weird sensations or sporadic pulses. They are heavenly codes, divine frequencies that are sent straight into your being to start the holy process of elevation and cleansing. You are being adjusted to the vibrations of heaven, much like an instrument in God's orchestra. Is it possible that the discomfort you previously described is perhaps the start of your spiritual reorientation? The world does not produce these frequencies. They are from above. They are spiritual cues from the Creator Himself that awaken your DNA and awaken spiritual abilities that have lain dormant for many generations. You may experience inexplicable feelings of fatigue, hunger, or even unease when you start this transformation. But don't be afraid of these indicators. They don't indicate weakness. They are your awakening's first rumblings. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but rather one of strength, love, and clarity of thought. 2 Timothy chapter 7. You can feel as though a weight is being lifted as the old energy departs your body. Shame, fear, uncertainty, and spiritual blockage are energies that have subtly crept into your cells throughout time. It's more than simply a cleanse over the next 4 nights. They are a reset from heaven. You're lifting the burden you've been carrying, frequently without even recognizing it. Have you recently had the feeling that something inside of you simply doesn't belong? That old habits, attachments, and ideas are disintegrating for no apparent reason. It's no accident. The design is amazing. The old version of yourself is being shed. You are shedding the layers of energy that don't fit the person you are becoming, much like a snake must shed its old skin in order to develop. Something extraordinary starts to happen as the new energy rises. Your body turns into a light-attracting magnet. You start to attract possibilities, blessings, and deeper spiritual connections with the vibrations you are currently producing. You will receive it if you give, because you will be measured by the measure you employ. Luke 6:38. These pledges are not merely hypothetical. Through your energy, they are starting to materialize as concrete reality. Your very existence starts to draw the things you've long hoped for, like a heavenly beacon. Plenty in its most basic form. Not only financial prosperity, but also spiritual clarity, emotional depth, and sacrosanct friendship. You'll start to match yourself with divinely intended people, places, and times. Do you feel those moments starting to emerge already? It is not only beneficial, but also necessary to safeguard your vitality throughout this holy period. Not everyone in your immediate vicinity is in tune with this new sound, and the frequency you carry is valuable. You might be misinterpreted by some. Others can unwittingly oppose what you're awakened to. Have you recently realized that spending time with some people drains you more than it used to? This is discernment, not judgment. Don't be fooled. Good character is corrupted by bad company. 1 Corinthians 15:33. Those around you are not necessarily bad because of this. It indicates that a greater level of awareness is required for your progress. You must seek out seclusion or fellowship with those who share your spiritual beliefs, just as Jesus frequently retreated to the desert to pray and rejuvenate. Now is the moment to make a conscious effort to connect. Allow voices that uplift, not depress, to surround your spirit. Your energy is sacred. You will start to sense a silent but unmistakable split taking place as you continue to rise. Those who used to feel near might suddenly feel far away. Relationships may end because your soul is outgrowing settings that were never intended to hold your destiny, not because of conflict or rage. Can two people go for a walk together unless they agree? Amos 3. This release is not a form of discipline. It's getting ready. Think about the late Apple co-founder Steve Jobs. His words, "Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice," are well known. He was known for his visionary intuition and frequently relied on his intuition when making important judgments. He also practiced spiritual mindfulness and stillness. You are no longer merely a human being seeking spiritual development. You are a divine vessel undergoing transfiguration. Your body is no longer just a shell of flesh and bone. It is now a conduit for God's light. What if your inner voice, the one that is growing clearer by the night, is now being amplified because your body is no longer clogged by interference? These frequencies you are now in tune with are not just electrical impulses, but divine messages encoded into your being, revealing your spiritual inheritance. Your frequencies are resonating with the higher realms with each breath, and your energy is carrying new authority with each step. Have you started to notice that your presence alone changes the atmosphere in a room? Your senses will sharpen as your body vibrates at this higher frequency. You might start hearing things that others cannot. The Holy Spirit may give you nudges. You might dream more vividly, feel more intuitively, and think more clearly. This is not fantasy. It is fulfillment. Your creativity will start to flow like an unblocked river. You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. These are your true body abilities. Sacred gifts God placed inside you before the world convinced you they didn't exist. Your thoughts won't feel jumbled. Your decisions will come from wisdom instead of fear. This is the alignment your soul has been waiting for. Can you feel it now? The quickening, the lightness, the awareness that something ancient and divine is surfacing. Matthew 5:14. These frequencies are tearing apart the chains of doubt, fear, shame, and limitation. You are not just healing, you are being revealed. What once lived in silence within you is now rising to speak with power. By the end of these 4 holy nights, you will feel as if a curtain that once obscured your thoughts, your soul, and your senses has finally been lifted, and the world will no longer appear the same to you. You are not simply entering a new position of power. You are returning to it because that power was always yours. Your senses will become more acute, your awareness will deepen, and your connection to everything around you will become profoundly more alive. What was ordinary will now sparkle with divine meaning, because you are no longer viewing it through the lens of ordinary human perception. However, blessed are your eyes, because they see, and your ears, because they hear. You are being retuned to operate in a higher dimension, one that transcends the old limitations of fear, shame, and uncertainty. Matthew 13:16. Can you already feel the edges of this higher reality unfolding? This is not just an emotional or spiritual opening. It is a full-body awakening. Your physical being is aligning with a divine frequency, an invisible but powerful current that flows directly from the throne of God. However, as your spirit rises, your body must also adjust. These nights won't be completely smooth as divine light floods into you. The places where darkness once lived will resist. Have you recently felt like you're outgrowing your old life in any way? Your routines, relationships, or even your thoughts? That's your soul telling you that you've entered a new realm of being. Your body is letting go, releasing years, maybe even lifetimes of stagnant energy that once held your divine self bound. Do not be alarmed by such experiences, which may include sudden waves of anxiety, restlessness, or even aches that come and go without explanation. Your feelings are not coincidental. They are internal signals. Your hunger is not always for food. Rather, it is for revelation, truth, and light. Your soul is yearning for spiritual sustenance in a manner never before required. Man will not survive on bread alone, but on every word that comes from God's mouth. Matthew 4:4. What about that sudden panic attack that takes you by surprise? That escalating uneasiness that makes you wonder if you're prepared for this level of change? That too is shedding. It's the old you fighting the birth of the new. It's dread meeting fate. You're experiencing friction between where you've been and where you're going, not failure. And isn't it true that the biggest breakthroughs frequently come after our biggest fears? Famous comedian and motivational speaker Steve Harvey famously said, "If you're going through hell, keep going. Keep going." This transformation won't always feel glamorous, but it will always be worth it. Every wave of discomfort is proof that the old energy is dissolving. His path from homelessness to success wasn't straight line. It was full of intense internal struggles. The same is true for you. If anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. The old has gone. The new is here. 2 Corinthians 5:17. What if the struggle isn't the problem, but the path? Instead of dismissing these feelings, let them speak. The pressure in your chest, the accelerated heartbeat, and the restless legs are all indicators that your system is recalibrating. You are being made new. Allow them to flow through you like waves washing the beach. When you are hungry, ask yourself for clarity rather than food. When you are nervous, take a deep breath and remember that your body is just letting go of things that don't belong. Your discomfort is sacred. You are being shaped by divine hands into the version of yourself that God intended from the beginning. And this is the price of elevation. But it is also the gift. Your hunger is holy. Your panic is the shaking of chains before they fall. And your fatigue is the weight of old timelines being lifted. Can you imagine how much lighter you will feel when it's all gone? Not a weaker version, not a safer one. A radiant, bold, awakened being who walks not just in belief, but in divine knowing. Therefore, when you wake up with dreams that are too vivid to ignore, or feel something stir in your chest tonight, don't rush to explain it away or numb it. Instead, listen, trust, and let the transformation take place. Something extraordinary is happening within you with each passing night. You may not be able to see it with your own eyes yet, but you can feel it. The weight lifting, the increasing clarity, the growing stillness, a sacred lightness rising in your body, mind, and spirit. These sensations are not just physical. They are heavenly signals that are guiding you home. Your path is finally being cleared, and the transformation that has long been waiting for its moment is finally coming to pass after years of being blocked by invisible forces, energies that kept you trapped in cycles of self-doubt, fear, and exhaustion. These negative energies didn't just hover around you, they sank deep within you. These past burdens have been clinging to the edges of your spirit for too long, and now over these 4 sacred nights, they are being lovingly and forcefully expelled. They took root in your cells, your thoughts, and your emotions, whispering lies that you weren't enough, that you were too broken, that it was too late, or that you were too far gone. You may feel a strange heat in your body, like toxins burning away. You may experience sudden fatigue or restlessness as these old energies break loose. Even moments of emotional overwhelm may surface. 1 Peter chapter 5:7. Cast all your anxiety on him, because he cares for you. He will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. But this is not regression. Rather, it is the last purge. Your crystalline self, the divine form that has always been hidden beneath the noise, is now coming to the surface. Your spiritual body is detoxing, and like a fire purifying gold, the impurities must rise before the shine can return. Malachi 3:3. Have you ever had the feeling that there was more to you than what the outside world saw? That there was an unrealized beauty, a keener intuition, a deeper love that was just waiting for permission to surface? You are not turning into something artificial. Rather, you are going back to your true self. Your light has always been there, but it was smothered by trauma, survival, and the pressure of other people's expectations. Even though that permission has been granted, the release won't always be peaceful. Your body may shake, your sleep may feel disrupted, or your emotions may change suddenly. However, these are not indications of chaos, but rather of purification. And every uncomfortable moment is evidence that the old energy is finally leaving. There is freedom where the Spirit of the Lord is. 2 Corinthians 3:17. Trust in this sacred process. Don't resist what's leaving. Let it go. The more clear your field gets, the more in tune you will feel with the divine frequencies flowing through you. The heaviness is not your identity. It was never meant to stay. And now it is being replaced with clarity, purity, and divine alignment. Joy will arise not from circumstances, but from the stillness of your soul. Peace will no longer be something you seek, but something you radiate. Let go of fear. You will notice things you never noticed before, such as a softness in your breath, a brightness in the morning light, and a deeper presence in your own heartbeat. You will feel lighter physically, emotionally, and music spiritually as you let go of resistance and embrace the purity that is forming within you like a diamond under pressure. The negative energy that once clouded your clarity is dissolving into nothingness, and as it departs, you'll start to feel your true energy rise. The fatigue is fading, and each night is bringing you home, to the person you were always meant to be, to the soul God dreamed into existence before the world tried to rename you. Have you already started to notice it? That slight surge of vitality, that sudden burst of inspiration, that moment where everything feels still yet alive. Joel 2:25 states that your energy field is no longer murky or muddled. Rather, it is becoming radiant, magnetic, and divine. What was once cluttered is now clean, and what was once sluggish is now swift. The fog is clearing, and your alertness, awareness, and aliveness are all returning in full force. I will give you back the years that the locust has eaten. Even in the modern world, people who achieve high levels of awareness frequently describe the same moment of clarity. Maya Angelou, a poet and civil rights activist who endured unspeakable pain but radiated profound grace, once said, "We delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty." You are no longer operating in low vibrations. Instead, you are flowing in the frequency of heaven. Every layer you have shed is making room for the greater glory that is settling upon you. This is not a random process. It is resurrection. You are rising not only in spirit, but also in presence, power, and purity. With every sacred night that goes by, something miraculous is taking place inside of you. Are you not becoming something breathtaking? Not because of the discomfort, but because of it. You are stepping into harmony with the frequencies of heaven, and the weight of your past and the struggles you once faced will soon seem like distant memories as your body and spirit move into divine alignment, and the division between your physical and spiritual identities dissolves. You were never made to live a life of exhaustion and limitation, and as that veil lifts, you'll start to see the truth. You have so much more power, light, and potential than you were ever told. Have you ever had the deepest feeling that you were meant for more? That you have a greater strength inside of you that is just waiting to be discovered? It is important to respect your body and feed it with things that are pure, clean, and life-giving in order to support this shift. Isaiah 40:31 states that those who hope in the Lord will regain their strength and soar on wings like eagles. However, this transformation is not just spiritual. It is also profoundly physical. Your body is not being left behind in this awakening. In fact, it is the sacred vessel through which divine energy will now flow. You are fueling frequency, not just flesh. As your energy increases, your body becomes more sensitive to what it takes in. So it is important to choose foods, drinks, and high vibrational substances that are appropriate for the elevated state you are entering. For example, alkaline water serves as a spiritual cleansing tool, in addition to being a hydration aid. When God created the world, He first spoke light, then separated the waters, and water has always been a purifier. It balances your internal environment and helps make room for divine energy to flow freely through your system. Could something as basic as water really support your divine transformation? Meat from animals raised in trauma or fear, genetically modified crops, and chemically preserved meals. On the other hand, all send confusing signals to your body and have a vibration that is not in harmony with the divine frequency you are now embodying. Furthermore, foods that are heavy, processed, or rooted in suffering carry dense energies that weigh down your system. In the Bible, Daniel and his friends refused the king's royal food and instead ate only vegetables and drank water, and they came out stronger, wiser, and more radiant than anyone else in the kingdom. 1 Corinthians 6:19. Instead, choose foods born from the earth in purity, plant-based, organic, full of color, and full of life. These are God's gifts to you, and they are meant to nourish not only your organs, but also your aura. You are being called to do the same. Your body is communicating with you more than ever. Can you tell the difference between a processed and a clean meal? Have you ever noticed how some foods make you feel energized, while others leave you feeling exhausted? These signs are not coincidental. That was divine alignment through divine nourishment. The more you intentionally nourish yourself, the more in tune you become with your true self. This is not about dieting. It's about taking care of the temple that houses your transformation. Your energy field is becoming clearer, your mind more focused, your emotions more stable. The author and health advocate Chris Carr, who overcame cancer by drastically altering her diet and mindset, famously remarked, "Your body hears everything your mind says and everything your mouth consumes." Her story serves as a reminder that even something as seemingly insignificant as what we put on our plate can have a profound impact on healing and power. If you feed your body foods that are in line with God's design, you're not just avoiding toxins, you're welcoming transformation. You're creating a sacred pathway for divine energy to flow through you without interference. And you're not just surviving. What if every bite you take today is a step into the future version of yourself? This is your confirmation that the change is occurring in your cells as well as the heavens. As you continue to prepare for transfiguration, your body will reward you by making you feel lighter, more alert, and more alive. The fog will clear, the fatigue will subside, and the peace will settle in your bones. You are saying, I am ready, with each food, drink, and breath. I'm getting up. By the end of these 4 glorious nights, you will not only feel renewed, but reborn. This is how you acknowledge the metamorphosis. This is how you get ready for the last shift. I am becoming. The weight you've carried, some of it visible, most of it hidden, will no longer have authority over you, and you'll come out stronger, clearer, and far more attuned to your divine purpose. You'll feel a lightness in your step, a radiance in your spirit, and a profound sense of inner alignment that you may never have experienced before. Your perspective on life is already starting to change, and things that once caused you to feel afraid or confused will soon appear as opportunities to rise. This metamorphosis is not limited to the physical. It affects every aspect of your being, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Philippians chapter 1:6. You will soon look out at the world with eyes sharpened by divine vision, not clouded by doubt or scarcity, and you will see abundance where you once sensed lack, and possibility where you once saw obstacles. Have you recently felt a sense of distance from your old thoughts? That's because the version of you that once accepted limitation is already fading. You will no longer question whether your prayers are heard. Instead, you will sense the answer in your spirit, in your situation, and even in your body as this sacred journey comes to a close. This is the gift of awakening, which does not take away the world, but rather unveils the truth beneath it. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will grant you the desires of your heart. Psalm 37:4. You are no longer the person you were when these 4 nights began. That version of you will become a distant memory, not forgotten, but honored as the soil in which the new you grew. You will walk with confidence, not because everything is easy, but because you now realize how powerful your agreement with heaven truly is. You are now entering into your actual power, and the most beautiful chapters of your life are just waiting to be written. Have you sensed the subtle inner awareness that something is changing for the better? For a long time, even you have been oblivious to the vast potential that resides within you. Through this divine sequence of transformation, the time has come. The seed has broken open, the roots have reached the light, and what is rising in you now is strength you didn't know you had, wisdom that surprises even you. These divine gifts weren't absent. They were dormant, waiting for the conditions of awakening to be met. Your intuition will no longer whisper. It will speak clearly. Your thoughts will no longer waver. They will align. Your manifestation abilities will no longer be distant hopes. They will become everyday realities. And now to Him, who is capable of doing incalculably more than we ask or imagine, grace that covers you like a new skin. These hidden powers are not fantasy. They are your inheritance. Deepak Chopra, a physician and spiritual teacher, once said, "Awakening is not changing who you are, but discarding who you are not." Isn't that what these 4 nights have been all about? Not creating a new you from scratch, but removing the lies that prevented you from seeing the divine blueprint already inside you. To Him be the glory. Ephesians 3:20. Even contemporary leaders and thinkers have recognized this awakening. Your sacred identity has always included the skills you're now learning, such as discernment, creative power, and divine perception. You simply needed the right time to open the gate, and that time is now. As you embrace your awakening, keep in mind that it's the realization of a divine timeline that was written over your life before you ever breathed. I knew you before I created you in the womb. Jeremiah 1:5-5. Let every breath you take from now on be one of thankfulness, not only because you survived these 4 nights, but because these nights are the start of something eternal. You aren't learning something new. You are at last remembering who you have always been. This is your moment to discover your sacred gifts and use them for the benefit of others as well as for your own development. This is about stepping into your divine assignment, not just about changing yourself. As your body goes through a supernatural metamorphosis, your energy field, the unseen spiritual atmosphere that surrounds you, is also changing in subtle, potent, and profoundly divine ways. You might notice a change in how you feel on a daily basis, such as certain emotions no longer weighing you down, a change in how people respond to you, such as some being drawn to your peace and others being repulsed by your light, and a change in how you view the world, not as a chaotic place, but as a field of divine potential. According to Proverbs 4:18, the path of the righteous is like the morning sun, shining ever brighter till the full light of day. When your vibration starts to rise, you start to attract higher vibrational energies, peace, abundance, and clarity into your life, instead of the things that once fed on your fear or confusion. Have you seen new opportunities arise, synchronicity align, or certain burdens lift effortlessly? These are not coincidences, but affirmations that heaven itself is supporting your transformation. Your energy is radiating from alignment instead of survival. And as your field gets stronger and clearer, people who once depleted you may naturally fade away. What fellowship can light have with darkness? 2 Corinthians 6:14. This process may feel odd or even lonely at first, but it's necessary. You're not being isolated. And in their place, you'll start to meet people who carry light, intention, and spiritual maturity. These divine connections are no accident. They're part of your elevation. Your energy field is changing, but it's a sign of something much deeper. You're being consecrated. Have you ever had the feeling that God is clearing the way for the person you're becoming by taking things out of your life that you didn't even ask Him to take away? As you align yourself more with your true self, the version of yourself that God spoke into being before time began, the universe starts to react. Resources will appear without effort. Doors that were previously closed will open without force, and your very presence will start to change atmospheres. A city on a hill cannot be hidden, so you are the light of the world. Matthew 5:14. Accept this sacred shift, and let it take you to places you never thought possible. You are being brought into alignment, not by chance, but by purpose. This change is not random. It is not chaos masquerading as change. Heaven has been waiting for this moment to awaken your greatness. You were selected to walk a path that few dare to follow. Why now? Because the world needs your light, your wisdom, your serenity, and your spiritual strength. It is a sacred journey that has been divinely orchestrated, and it bears your name. As you awaken, those around you will start to sense it. They will be drawn to your strength, your stillness, and your clarity, and some will awaken because of what they see in you. We live in a time when darkness is loud, but light is louder when it is revealed. For the creation waits eagerly for the children of God to be revealed. Romans 8:19. Think of Harriet Tubman, the brave abolitionist who freed hundreds of enslaved people, who once said, "Every great dream begins with a dreamer." Your breakthrough will allow others to believe in their own, and your healing will remind them that theirs is possible. You will be a living example. Isn't that what you are being called to do now? You're not transforming for the sake of transformation. You're being commissioned. Your alignment is preparation for your assignment. You're not just awakening. Never forget that you have the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars within you. Her divine awakening didn't end with her freedom. It ignited the path for others. The world is waiting for your voice, your light, and your leadership. The time has come for you to rise, and you are prepared. Trust that everything you are going through is happening for a divine reason. This is not chaos, but calibration. The old you is being stripped away to make room for the true you. Isaiah 61. Arise, Shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. You may have already started to notice startling changes in yourself, such as sudden clarity, energy bursts, or waves of insight. These changes are not random. They are an invitation to embrace the fullness of who you are. They are proof that your divine evolution is already in motion. If you have recently experienced unexpected creative outbursts, epiphanies, or subtle but potent changes in your energy, these are not chance events. Rather, they are sacred signals that indicate something extraordinary is already taking place inside of you. Even if you haven't comprehended it completely yet, your body, mind, and spirit are starting to align with a higher frequency, a divine frequency that is recalibrating every aspect of your identity. Isaiah 43:19 states, "Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it?" This change may also be accompanied by strange signs. Elevated sensitivity to light, sound, or even the feelings of others around you. Abrupt changes in relationships or an increasing need for solitude are not signs of regression, but of elevation. You are letting go of your old self, that version of yourself that once clung to safety, conformed, and compromised, and is now being gently and powerfully released. Have you ever experienced a sense of disconnection from your former self? That is not confusion. Rather, it is confirmation that your soul is changing into something greater. As this divine evolution intensifies, you will start to see things differently. You will recognize patterns you have never seen before. You will react with peace where you previously reacted with fear. Even your physical body will witness this change. Sudden waves of exhaustion, energy bursts, unexplained tingling, or vibrations running through your hands and feet. These are not random. They are sacred. Your body is adapting to hold a higher voltage of spiritual power. The world around you may remain the same, but you will no longer be the same within it. In 1 Corinthians 6:19, it is stated that these physical manifestations are not signs that something is wrong, but that something holy is happening. You are no longer subject to the same physical limitations that once governed you, and your body is evolving into a divine vessel that is calibrated to receive and release heavenly frequencies. Are you unaware that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit? This is the start of a new you, one that has always been inside of you, but is only now becoming fully expressed. Have you ever felt like you were stuck in a cycle, going through the same things over and over again, and that no matter how hard you tried, something was always stopping you? Those days are coming to an end, and the cycle is ending. This isn't just a shift in your thoughts or feelings. It's a cellular transformation where your DNA, the very code that God wrote into your body, is being activated to hold more divine light. The barriers that once confined your potential are starting to crumble under the weight of your transformation. You are rising, and the power that seemed far away is now awakening inside of you. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Isaiah 40:29 states that you are no longer being molded by the world. You are being reformed by heaven. Every cell, fiber, and breath you take is taking part in this holy upgrade. The tightness, tingling, sudden aches, or restlessness are not signs of illness, but rather of progress. Your body is becoming a sanctuary, not just a vessel of flesh. Have you noticed that you need more space to breathe, more water, and more rest? That's your body requesting respect as it changes into something much bigger than you could have ever dreamed. Take the time to take care of yourself. Pay attention to your body's cues and give it pure food. The truth is that you are not only receiving the light, but also learning to carry it. These next 4 nights are a sacred rite of passage, a purification, a holy cleansing, and it will not only occur in the spirit, but also through your physical form. Therefore, Surround it with what is sacred. As stated in Psalm 51:10, you are being called to let go, not just mentally, but energetically. Release the limiting beliefs, the generational burdens, the toxic attachments, and the emotional patterns that have weighed you down. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. Every ounce of negativity, every residue of pain, and every heavy emotion that has lingered too long is now being released. You will notice a difference as these old energies leave your body. You will breathe more deeply, laugh more freely, feel less burdened, and be more in tune with who you really are. This won't always feel easy, and at times it may feel overwhelming, but know that the discomfort is not punishment, but purification. You are not only being cleansed, but you are being crowned. The heaviness was never your true self. It was just the dust of the journey. Can you imagine what it would feel like to wake up lighter? Not just in body, but in soul. This profound release is necessary. It is the portal through which your divine purpose will emerge. You are entering a new light, a new frequency, a new identity that has always been yours in heaven. And as this transformation completes its sacred course, you will no longer recognize the old boundaries that once defined you. The divine being you were always meant to be is rising now, not tomorrow, not someday. And now that dust is being swept away, so the glory below can shine. Now, over the course of these 4 holy nights, you might start to notice small but significant changes in your body, thoughts, and emotions. Long-buried patterns may come to the surface, including toxic loops, old narratives, and relationships that seemed safe, but now seem out of alignment. These are not setbacks. Rather, they are sacred signals. You are being asked to let go of everything that is no longer able to accompany you into the next dimension of your calling. Isaiah 43:18-9 states, "Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing." You may experience an overwhelming desire to leave people or situations that no longer align with your elevated energy. And even though this can be challenging, have faith that what you are going through is a cleansing, a divine sorting. You are creating room for destiny as well as clarity. The things that once defined you are now being unhooked from your soul. Your spirit is already feeling the difference. And as you let go of the old, you'll notice that new things start to come almost naturally. This is not a coincidence. It is alignment. In the newly cleared space, unexpected opportunities, new energy, and a stronger sense of connection to your divine purpose start to blossom. Ecclesiastes 3:27 states that, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heavens." If you're experiencing discomfort right now, whether it be in your body, your thoughts, or your emotions, don't worry. The tension you experience is the old skin tearing as your new form starts to emerge. Transformation rarely feels easy, but the fire that purifies gold does not come to destroy. Rather, it comes to refine. I have refined you, though not as silver. I have tested you in the furnace of affliction. Isaiah 48:10. You may experience inexplicable fatigue, unexpected bursts of anxiety, or unexplained emotional waves. These sensations are not failures. Rather, they are the body's reaction to freedom. You're not breaking down. Rather, you're breaking through, like the butterfly struggling to get out of its cocoon. C.S. Lewis, the beloved author and theologian, once said, "Hardships often prepare ordinary people for an extraordinary destiny." The struggle is real, but it's necessary. Without that resistance, its wings wouldn't strengthen. Without the pressure, its flight would never take form. Have you ever thought that the discomfort you feel is God stretching your capacity so you can soar? Even great minds have acknowledged this truth. The greatest release is approaching when you experience the most resistance. These feelings, along with frustration, confusion, and fatigue, are indicators that your inner structures are changing and that the false foundations are being torn down so that the divine framework can rise. What if your discomfort is not a detour, but rather the doorway to your extraordinary? This is the sacred undoing before the divine becoming. And once you accept that the discomfort is part of the design, you will find peace even in the process. The breakthrough is already forming in the spirit, even if you haven't seen it manifest in the natural yet. Lean into the discomfort, not to suffer, but to surrender. Let the pain become your teacher, the pressure your purifier, and the fire your pathway. Psalm 35 states that while you may weep through the night, joy will come in the morning. As you continue to persevere, you will start to see the light at the end of the tunnel, not just spiritually, but physically as well. Your body will feel lighter, your thoughts will feel freer, the anxiety will turn into awareness, and the confusion will melt into clarity. You will walk taller, speak more clearly, and feel more firmly anchored in who you really are. The person who comes out of this journey will not be a slightly better version of yourself. Rather, it will be your divine self in full bloom, radiant, sovereign, and at last, free. Before long, the old chains will be nothing more than dust behind you. A tingling sensation in your hands or spine, waves of heat pulsing through your limbs, or even what feels like electric current humming beneath your skin. These are not odd or pointless sensations. Rather, they are indications of something sacred. Have you ever noticed your body releasing energies that seem beyond your comprehension? The movement of divine frequencies awakening within you is what you are experiencing as your physical body undergoes a profound transformation. Job 33:4 states, "The breath of the Almighty gives me life." Your body is more than just flesh and blood. It is a sacred vessel for the presence of God. It is carrying new levels of spiritual power, and these sensations are proof of that. This divine energy is flowing through you, and while it may feel overwhelming or strange, it is not harmful. It is a holy recalibration, and it is bringing your entire system into tune with a higher frequency, which is achieved by clearing out everything that was previously obstructing your light. Do you sense the buzzing beneath your skin? The quiet intensity that builds behind your eyes or inside your chest? These are not signs of a problem. Rather, they are indications that your body is remembering its purpose, that you are not malfunctioning, that you are evolving, and that you are stepping into the divine design that God placed within you before the world was even created. This is what alignment looks like when your body, mind, and spirit start working as one. As this transformation progresses, these energies will start to clear out blockages, emotional wounds, energetic stagnation, even generational heaviness. They are sweeping through your nervous system, flushing out what no longer belongs, and creating space for your soul to fully inhabit your body. This divine process that is taking place inside of you cannot be forced or controlled, but the miracle is, it doesn't need to be. Your body already knows how to respond to this sacred frequency it was made to carry. May God Himself, the God of peace, sanctify you through and through. May your whole spirit, soul, and body be kept blameless. 1 Thessalonians 5:23. The journey becomes smoother the more you give yourself over to the flow of what's happening. Let go of the need to comprehend every sensation. Have faith in the holy intelligence that is directing this transformation. Isn't it lovely to think that your body was made to contain the energy of heaven? Surrender is not weakness, it is wisdom. You will enter the grace of becoming when you cease to resist the divine rhythm. You will feel the energy as it flows more freely, the peace beneath the chaos, the sacred pulse beneath the pain, and you will start to move through life with greater fluidity, presence, and peace. This energy will transform you into something timeless and true, like water chiseling through stone. You will never be the same again, not because you've lost something, but because you're finally gaining access to everything that's been buried within. Your soul has always held immense wisdom, courage, and light. What's happening in you is not just energetic or emotional. It's the unlocking of a sacred potential that has always been yours. All of that is rising because of this transformation, which isn't about changing who you are. Rather, it's about becoming the person you were always meant to be. The version of you that is rising now is strong, perceptive, firmly rooted in peace, and profoundly connected to divine truth. And we all who look upon the Lord's glory, with our faces uncovered, are being changed into His image with ever-increasing glory. Let go of the fears, habits, and limitations that have bound you to a lesser version of yourself. 2 Corinthians 3:18. Can you feel how your thoughts are becoming clearer? How your intuition is becoming sharper? How the fear that once governed your decisions is losing its grip? This is awakening, not imagination. The world around you will start to react as you step into this higher state of being. There is nothing left for you there. When you shed these old layers, joy will rise in unexpected places. Clarity will shine where confusion once existed, and opportunities, real, tangible ones, will start to open like doors that were always meant for you. Seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. You will start to attract what matches your divine resonance, just as a tuning fork vibrates in harmony with another of the same frequency. Relationships, resources, and revelations that were previously hidden from view will now find you easily. According to Matthew 6:33, this is the truth of who you are, limitless, radiant, and full of purpose. And now, finally, you are ready to live it. At the conclusion of this holy time of metamorphosis, you will look back with awe rather than regret when you realize how different you are now from who you were before. The revelation of your actual nature, the divine, radiant person that God created you to be from the beginning, will leave you speechless. The old you is gone, and the new you is here. 2 Corinthians 5:17. And now that new you is ready to rise, you stand on the brink of greatness, not the kind that is measured by accolades from the outside world, but the kind that reverberates throughout eternity, greatness that comes from courage, surrender, and alignment with divine purpose. Have you ever had the profound inner sense that something inside of you has changed irrevocably? That is your soul realizing that your greatest potential has emerged. You are going through a divine reset right now, which isn't just a moment. It's a movement within you, a reset that eliminates everything that no longer serves you, doesn't belong, and doesn't support the growth of your soul. This reset isn't something to be feared, but rather something to embrace, as God is rewriting your reality in this space of beginning anew. Imagine it as a holy reboot. I'm making everything new. Revelation 21:5 explains that the old programs, fear, shame, and scarcity, are being uninstalled and replaced with new codes of light, strength, and spiritual power. Isn't it empowering to realize that this change is structural rather than merely spiritual? It affects your thoughts, your energy, and your perspective. This is the time between the shedding and the shining. And it's normal to feel as though you're floating in the dark. Everything is being realigned, and you may wake up feeling confused, unsure of what to do next, or questioning the path you believe to be solid. Even Abraham had to leave behind everything familiar before entering the promise, as stated in Genesis 12:1. However, it was precisely this act of letting go that brought him into alignment with destiny. During this season, your old patterns will come to the surface, not to punish you, but to be released permanently. Your beliefs, relationships, and self-image are all being held up to the light for re-examination. The divine reset is clearing the way. Let it clear. Let it cleanse. Let it rewire you. because on the other side of this sacred unraveling is your highest truth. As you let go of the old, divine energy is flooding in to fill the space. Are you noticing that things that once comforted you now feel heavy? That things you used to tolerate now feel unbearable? And this energy is not chaotic. It is holy. It will lead you through silence and calm, not through chaos or fear. You will start to see signs and synchronicity, moments that seem too good to be true. That is heaven telling you that you are on the right track. Embrace the unknown, rejoice in the purification, and have faith in the unmaking, because it is creating space for your becoming. Consider the journey of Malala Yousafzai, a young girl who faced violence for daring to speak out for education. The divine reset is the bridge between your past and your purpose. Even though you may feel lost right now, you are simply in the process of rising. This divine pattern is often echoed in real-life transformations. This reset is necessary, sacred, and yours. As you continue on this path, trust that God is guiding you not into confusion, but into clarity. What appeared to be her darkest moment turned into her divine reset, propelling her into global purpose. What if your discomfort is just the fire that's forging your next level? Proverbs 3:5 says, "Trust the Lord with all your heart, and do not rely on your own understanding." You may have asked yourself, what is truly happening to me? I feel so different, but why? Why does it feel like everything is changing, disintegrating, or vanishing around me? This is your response. Your soul is growing up and is unwilling to continue living in a world that does not align with your divine purpose. Every tear, every breakthrough, every change has been heaven's way of preparing you for what's next. Beloved chosen one, this journey you've just walked through is more than just a lesson or a reflection. You are growing stronger, you're becoming wiser, and you're aligning with your highest purpose. What you have gone through these past nights is not a coincidence. It is God's affirmation that your season of becoming has come. You have undergone a sacred shift, and whether you feel ready or not, the transformation is already occurring within you. It is a divine call to remembrance. It is heaven's way of showing you that you were never meant to live hidden, burdened, or forgotten. Yes, there were uncomfortable moments, questions, resistance, and perhaps even moments when you wanted to turn back, but you persevered. What once defined you, fear, delay, confusion, and smallness, has been stripped away, and what now defines you is divine light, unwavering peace, and the authority of one who has survived the fire and emerged refined. You stayed, you listened, you gave up, and now the veil has been lifted, and you are being called to rise into your true identity, not someday, but now. You are not who you were, and you are not even who you believed you had to be. You are who God created before the world was even built. And that is what makes this moment holy. The pain had a purpose. The silence was sacred. The breaking was merely preparation for the becoming. And now, this is your divine reset. Not to erase who you were, but to reveal who you've always been beneath the noise. Nothing, no darkness, no delay, and no voice of doubt can take that away from you. Let the world sense the change in your presence before you ever speak a word. When they ask you what happened, let them see the answer in your calm. If this message resonated deeply with you, tell them that you agree by leaving a comment below with 777. Let heaven and earth see that you said yes. Share this message with someone who might be going through their own transformation in silence. Like this message if it reminded you of who you are in God. Subscribe so you never walk this path alone. And if you feel moved to give this channel a super thanks to support its mission, know that your seed will help spread this light to those who are waiting for it. I bless you for just being here, for listening, for believing. This is not the end. This is the unveiling. You are chosen. You are rising. Your light, now awakened, will never be concealed again. Your presence here, regardless of what you choose to give or do, means more than words can say. We will see each other again in the next message. May God bless and keep you. May He fortify you for the days ahead, and may His divine purpose for your life fully unfold.